So recently, I was doing a consultation with a young lady, and she just kind of mentioned. Well, we were doing the consultation. While we were doing the consultation, I was doing demonstrations using TradingView, and during that time, she mentioned to me how intimidating and difficult Thinkorswim seemed to be as far as charting is concerned. So that gave me an idea to do this video, do a quick little demo of Thinkorswim platform, but mainly focusing on the charting section of it. So shout out to her for sparking that idea. But let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so just a quick little overview. The monitor tab, when you log into Thinkorswim, it's most likely going to default to the monitor tab. This is where you can monitor your positions. You can see a history of your positions, account statement, any working orders working orders that you have, field orders, cancel orders, etc., etc. It'll give you your overall profit and loss year to date, available dollars, yada, yada, yada. So all that information will be listed here. Trade, this is where you can actually execute trades. You can look at and analyze the option chains, and um, you can change these columns to, other things that you may want to look at. Maybe you don't want to see volume and open interest. Maybe you want to look at the Greeks. So you can do that, and you can change these just by clicking on this right at the column header. Um, you can also find time and sales here, as well as option statistics, things like that, if you tend to look at those types of things. The Analyze tab allows you to back test um, positions, whether you're, trying to check out the success of a given strategy, but this allows you to manually back test any position that maybe you're interested in back testing, or some sort of strategy that you're trying to develop and you're wanting to back test to see how it performed in the past. So that's that. If you guys would like to get a little more in depth about how to use this, um, I think I did a video on this, or maybe it was, yeah, I did a video on this before. And if I don't forget, I'll try to post that video in the description box of this video. So yeah, I use this quite often. I'm actually in the process of back testing some high probability setups. So I make use of this quite a bit. Um, Scan, that's pretty self-explanatory. You can just run scans, all kinds of scans. It offers a bunch of different filters. Has You can run scans based on stocks. You can also run scans based on options themselves, as well as uh, spreads, so different multi-leg strategies and things of that nature. So Market Watch, just that's where you can set your alerts. You can customize alerts and things like that. Allows you to see a heat map of the market and stuff like that, and you can see some news. Also, you can check out the calendar section. So you can customize your calendar, and it'll show you uh, events that are coming up based on your filter. So, um, matter of fact, I was speaking with someone about Google recently, and I was telling her that maybe she can check it out on the calendar to see you know uh, possibly when Google's going to do the split. And I think she said sometime in July. So you can so you see I checked split here, and now I'm just checking to see if anything shows up in the Thinkorswim calendar. And it may have just not populated yet at this point, but you know, whatever. So just a quick um, showing you guys how to use that real quick. So we'll go back to the recent, we'll just click on today. All right, so if I click on earnings, it shows me all of the earnings for the week. And it's going to be tons of them. So, you know, I prefer to use go to Earnings Whisper and Earning Whispers, and I go to their Twitter, and I just, you know, take the little screenshot of the notable earnings for the week, because I mean, yeah, 71 on Wednesday alone. That's crazy. But anyway, let's get to the chart section. So charts, of course, up here in this box is where I type in whatever ticker that I want to, you know, check out, and it'll bring up, you know, the chart for that section. Of course, you know, the name of the company, price, whether, you know, the amount that it has gone up or down for the day, and then it gives you the bid-ask spread here. Um, the share function that just allows you, like Thinkorswim, it'll generate a link for the chart that you're, you know, wanting to share. You can name the chart whatever you want to name it. You can add a note in there to the chart. You can share it to your think log inside of the platform. And this chart describer, this is something that is pretty recent. I would say this. I didn't notice this until maybe a year ago. But basically, it gives you just a little bit of information as far as technicals is concerned, kind of where the price is trading in relation to the 9-period moving average, where it is in terms of where the Bollinger Bands are, so to give you an idea of volatility. And then it has excuse me, standard deviation channel, and so it tells you where the price or where some key levels are with the standard deviation channel. I don't use that, you know, really at all, but you can add the studies to the chart, and it'll show you exactly how it looks. So I'm actually gonna just hit X, and it should take them off. Where no, it didn't. Like I said, I don't use it much. Oh, I'll just take it off the regular way. Remove all studies, get them off. Back to my naked chart. All right. This beaker here, it brings up the edit studies and strategy. It's like a quick link to the longer way to get here, and I'll show you guys that as well. So let's say you wanted to add a study to the chart, and I'm just gonna, you know, pick one kind of at random. You pick one, or you type in whatever you're looking for, whether it's a simple moving average or whatever, and then you add selected, and it'll send it over here, or it'll list it here. And these are just three areas of the chart where you can add studies. Price means that it's going to be an overlay over the candles. Volume means it'll be somewhere down here. And then lower means it'll be separate from the volume, but it'll be below the price action. So it'll have its own separate section. You can hit apply, and that will apply that indicator directly to the chart. If you don't save it, then I believe it'll go away when you go to a different chart, or for sure when you log out and log back in, it'll be gone. So um, let's see. I'll show you guys also how to save a study in just a second, but that's how you add a study to your chart. Just a quick way to do it. So if you hit OK, you see that, you know, it added those arrows to my chart here. And I can just go back, click on it again. Let's say I don't want to add that one. Let's say, you know, let's say I want to put a Bollinger Band on here. Add selected, boom, apply. You see it shows up immediately. And this arrow just kind of it moves the studies to different areas of the chart if you wanted to do that. So like for example, I just put some Bollinger Bands on the lower section of the chart. So it took it from up here and put it down here. Not saying that there's a reason to do that. I'm just kind of showing you guys how you can do that. So just move that up, hit apply. It should go back up here or be pasted back as an overlay. Um, what else can I show you guys here? Um, you can also add strategies. So it has a like a custom strategy set that you can add to your chart, and you do it the same way that I just showed you guys. You can also create a new strategy, but that typically requires some coding skills. So if you have a strategy that you've developed, you got some coding skills, you can come in here, code it up, hit OK, name the strategy, and that strategy will show up in in your in the strategy section, and you can apply that to your chart. And you can also back test that, but we're not going to get into that in this particular video. So let's say you made a mistake, as far as which indicator that you wanted to add to the chart. Just hit X and go back and add whatever study that you meant to add to the chart. Again, hit add selected, hit apply, and then you hit OK, and it takes that box out, and then there's your indicator, whatever indicator you wanted to add. In this case, this is a simple moving average. And so the way that you can make it so that you don't have to constantly apply your strategies every time you're logging in and out of the platform, you want to save the strategy. So just starting over, let's say I just want to add some Bollinger Bands or whatever. Add selected, hit save as study set, and you just name the study set, whatever. Let's say I want to name this AAA, whatever, AAA, whatever. And then you hit OK. It's there. I choose another ticker. It's going to be there. And then what you can do is come over here to where it says studies, load study set, AAA is there. It's always going to be there until I delete it. So I can just kind of, whatever studies I've saved, I can just easily toggle between those studies instead of having to constantly go into the study function and add those and take out indicators and then re-add other indicators for that strategy. So just real quick as to how that works. And then sets, that's pretty much uh, your setups that you've saved. So whatever studies that you have applied to your chart and saved and named or whatever, you can come here and add those to the chart. So you set, apply, and boom, it automatically adds that study to your chart. So I didn't have to go in and find the Ikomoku cloud. I didn't have to, you know what I'm saying? So it just adds them that way. This gear is just your chart settings. So me personally, when one of the main important ones for me is the price axis and time axis. So I expanded my price axis about 30% above the current price, just so I can get some more upside and kind of what I like to do is forecast prices in the future. So I definitely, when that happens, I need to be able to see further up sometimes, especially when I'm on higher time frames. And then time axis, I extended mine about 50 bars to the right, so that as you can see over here, there are no candles over here, and that's because we're in the future over here, like way into October or really into 2023 over here. This is a weekly chart. So yeah, you can also customize, your favorite time frames and list them here. Go to add time frame. This it has your intraday frames. It has your daily, and then it has whatever custom settings you want to create for yourself. You just click add, and it'll save it. It'll save them here in your list. Appearance, that's just how you want your candles to look. Gives you a lot of different options there. Equities, options, futures, forex, just different chart settings. So lots of different things you can do there. Uh, where you see the WK, this is your time frame setup. So again, I just showed you guys where you can customize your time frame setup, so it'll give you another listing of those time frames, and so you can kind of just choose whatever time frame you prefer to look at or want to look at in this list. You can also click on time frame and do the same thing that I showed you guys in chart settings. This is just a quicker way to get to it. Um, a shortcut, I should say, a shortcut for that. And then style, we saw style under chart settings, time frame setup settings, data box mode. So it'll have some floating things. If I were to put some sort of text on a chart, on my chart, it would, I can choose whether I want it to show or whether I want it to only show when I'm hovering in that particular area. You can change our chart modes to monkey bars, seasonality, standard chart, and mine is a standard. You can change your candle types. So this is just a shortcut to the settings, chart settings button here. Drawings. So this is where you can draw trend lines, your Fibonacci retracements, um, just all kinds of things that you can do with the chart tools. And so actually I'm going to move myself down here. Okay, so you can add arrows, you can highlight areas on the chart. Um, let's say, uh, let me remove these studies. So remove. Okay, so let's say I just wanted to add a trend line, and it already has that drawing tool there because I use trend lines like a ton. So I go to drawing tools right here. That's my trend line. You can just hover over it and it'll tell you what each symbol represents. So regression channel, fib extensions, ratios, cycle brackets, quadrant lines, just all kinds of different tools that you can use. But just looking at Valero right now and say I wanted to draw a trend line, all you do is click one time at where you want the trend line to stop, and you extend it out, and then you click where you want it to end, and then that's it. So let's say if I wanted to extend it into the future, I can extend it to the right, and it'll extend it to the right for forever. But you can also cancel that extension by right-clicking, and then click Cancel Right Extension. It'll go back to the way that you had it. So that's how you use a trend line. And there's no limit to what you can do as far as how you want to draw your trend lines. So to delete them, you can right click them and click remove drawing. You can right click and yeah, I just said that, right click and remove drawing, but you can also come up here to drawings and click undo remove trend line, so it'll remove those trend lines as you click that. You can also click remove drawings and you click trend line. If you, let's say you have multiple trend lines, if you click this, it'll remove all of those trend lines at the same time. So you don't have to go through and delete each trend line one at a time. Let's see. What else can I say about drawings? Um, oh, so this arrow, this pointer, this is one that I like to use as well because what tends to happen, if you have any other sort of drawing chosen, if you accidentally click something, then it'll populate that drawing on your chart, and that can get annoying. So when I let's say the markets are open and I'm looking for a trade, I've already done my markups and everything, so I don't really have a use for drawing at that moment. What I'll do is I'll go to the drawing tools and choose the arrow, and that way if I accidentally click on the chart, nothing happens, and I don't have to go back and delete anything or possibly miss something because I'm focused on getting some unintended stuff off of my chart. So that's a tool that I think is that I like, and I use that one quite a bit. Again, I talked about being able to highlight certain areas, so I use the rectangle quite a bit. Um, I use the oval quite a bit, but it's a pretty cool tool. And what you can also do to it is you can with these tools in general is if you right click, you can edit the properties of these tools. You can name them, you can change the color to whatever available colors that they have. So for me personally, I like to color code different drawings based on whatever time frame that I may be watching, or the time frame that I may have indicated for that drawing at that time, just so that as I'm looking at different time frames, I know that, hey, this price may be approaching a key historical level on the monthly chart or the weekly chart or whatever. So yeah, you can do the same, like I said, with the trend line that I drew. You can change the color, you can change the style, you can change the thickness of it as well, and you can also change the values as far as where you want them to end and where you want them to begin. You can name the trend lines. For me, I personally prefer the the price level ones where you can actually see the name uh, that you put for the indicated for that price level. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's see. For this one, oh, let's see. Hold on. I think you may be able to. Let's see, because you may be able to. On the right. Okay, so yeah, it just does this thing, but it won't say, that this is daily support like I named it, but it'll show that the it'll give you the data for that particular trend line. So I'm just gonna remove this drawing. Actually, let me see. No, let me just go and just change this. All right, so let me show you what I meant when I was talking about the price levels. So let's say I put a price level here. You see it, it shows price level there. I can go to edit, and I can name this whatever I want to. Let's say daily resistance, whatever you want to name it. And then I can change the color. I can change the style, and I can change the width or whatever, and it'll put it like that. So that's what I like about the price levels is the fact that you can have that label there, because I like to see those visual reminders like why is this level significant, and I indicate that as I set that price level. Um, let's see what else. Text. So if I wanted to add some text to my chart, I could do that, and it'll add it to wherever you point to. Go to edit properties. If you don't want to have an arrow on there, you can turn the arrow off. You can change the color. You can change the size of the font. You bold it, italics. You can change the type of font. Um, and yeah, it'll post that right there on your chart. So what I tend to do is I'll do my markup, and then I'll add text to give context to the markup. Like, okay, if it fails at this level, then this is the next level that I'm looking at. So I'm going calls here, I'm going puts here, just so that you know that information isn't lost potentially. Um, so yeah, that's just a few of the tools that I use very often. Um, let's see, I want to remove the text note. Hit yes. There we go. So, um, another thing that I want to show you guys, and I actually just learned this, and I got so excited because this is a feature that I thought that Thinkorswim didn't have and TradingView only had. So, let's say I want to know, like I'm watching this area, and I want to know if the price breaks this area. So support fails. So what I can do is right click that area and say go down to create alert withdrawing, and it'll say intrabar price. If it crosses below daily support, because that's what I named that. If I hadn't named that, it would be the default name, which would probably be like trendline 1 or whatever on this chart. So it gives them a default name. So I can change this crosses above or just crosses, but I'm saying, but since I would be watching for support to fail, crosses below daily support, I could also add a note to my alert. And so I set it up to where Thinkorswim texts me and emails me the alerts that I set. So also in those alerts, whatever note that I included in that alert would be included in the text message. So I don't even have to be, watching charts all day. I could just do my markups, put in my notes, set my alerts, and boom, when I get that text message, I look at it and it'll say, intrabar price cross below daily support. It'll give me the current price, and then it'll include that note. This is what you said you would do as far as the note is concerned, and it'll give me verbatim what I said in that note. So boom, I got my text. I can log into the platform and I can execute based on the work that I've already done. So it doesn't doesn't cost me a lot of time at all. And so the way that you can set that up is notify with where it says notify with. um, you can, whatever sound you want to choose, send me text messages during your US market hours. If you click send me text message after US market hours, your phone will be, your hotline will be blinging probably all night long. So I made the mistake of doing that, and yeah, it's annoying. Send push notifications to your mobile device. You can do that. So that's how you set that up. And then you hit create. Let's say, I'm just going to say test alert, and then hit create. And so you'll see that when Thinkorswim, when you set an alert, it'll give this little icon. And you can delete the alert easily by clicking this X. But it'll draw a trend line right where you indicated that you wanted to be notified when the price crosses above or below that area. So right now we have an alert on Thinkorswim based on the trend line that I drew. So it's not based on a specific price level. It's just based on the price crossing an area that I've identified as support. So I'm super excited about that part. So hopefully you guys are finding out with me, and if you already knew, you know kudos to you, because I was just kind of playing around tonight, and I was like, let me see what this button does, and so I was even more encouraged and eager to get this video done because I was going to do it later in the week. But anyway, let's see, what else can I, oh, another way to do edit studies is you can just right click anywhere on the chart, or alerts, I'm sorry. Right click on the chart, go to click create alerts, and usually this is where you're going to be able to create alerts based on price conditions and things like that. You can also do it based on rating changes, calendar events, certain news, and you can customize it to where, send me an alert when some news comes out on Valero. So again, I can enter an alert based on, this price level, maybe, daily resistance where I have it. And that's not really resistance right now, but just for the purposes of this video, I just named it something. I can put my note in there, hit create, and boom, my alert is done. I don't have to worry about it. Um, where you can view your list of alerts, if you go to, which one is it? Market Watch. Go to alerts, and it'll give you a list of all of your alerts. The one that we just put in, the test alert, is there. If you want to cancel an alert, you can cancel it there, and it'll cancel that alert for you there. And you can see that that alert is gone. It's no longer on my chart here. But actually, I do want to, kind of keep that there as a test alert because maybe something might happen. But anyway, um, let's see. What else? You can add your drawings from here. You can enter orders from here, like your OCO orders. If you do that, you can analyze from here. And I gave you guys a quick little view of their analyze button. You can add studies. If you go all the way down to studies, quick study, I mean, there are just hundreds, if not thousands, of studies that you have to choose from here. And if you go to all studies, it has them in alphabetical order. So I find that a little more easy to navigate there. Uh, add study, same thing. Edit studies brings up that same box that we got to from clicking here. So if you wanted to move some things around or switch some things out, you could do that. Hit OK. Um, Again, this is just another way, a shortcut for this chart settings box. Um, Studies. This is pretty much similar to this, but more expanded. So if you go to studies, you can go to quick studies, all studies, the same thing I just showed you from right clicking on the chart. Add studies. But if you go down to where it says load study set, these are the studies that you've saved. So studies that you've put onto your charts and saved for future reference or whatever studies that you've created, all of those studies will be saved here. Delete study set, that if you go to delete study set and you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to remove these studies off my chart for right now because I want to look at it, from a just a naked point of view, then it's going to delete the study that you saved and you'll have to go back in and resave it. So what you want to do when you want to clear your chart out is you want to go to remove all studies, and that'll remove the studies from your chart without removing the actual study set that you saved. Patterns. This is where the platform itself, you can tell it to identify certain patterns for you. So it'll be some of those more complicated patterns, and even the simpler patterns like a hammer, harami cross, morning star, etc., etc. You can click on those. Like let's say I want to click on double bottom, apply, and then hit OK. And then what I can do is go to show patterns, and anywhere on this chart where there's a double bottom or whatever, it'll let you know. And right now it's saying, hey, there are no double bottoms on this chart, so you won't get that notification that there is a double bottom there. So you can kind of play around with that. I think that's a pretty cool function. I think TradingView definitely does the same thing, but you have to pay for that functionality on their platform. So yeah, so remove all because I don't really want to have it showing me studies or patterns or whatever. But it is pretty cool. I used to, kind of play with it here and there. But what else can I show you guys? Let's say you want to take a screenshot of your chart. If you click up here, hit click take a screenshot, it'll take a screenshot. You can copy it, paste it to whatever platform you want to paste it to. I paste mine in Discord quite a bit. Or you can hit save and you can save it to your computer wherever you want to save it at. You can print it out, or whatever. Just hit close to get rid of it. Another thing that you can do that's cool with Thinkorswim is, let's say you have a multiple monitor type setup. So you can not only can you put multiple uh, charts on the same screen, but you can also detach. You can also detach these screens and create another one. So let's say it's 5. And then let's say I'm just going to detach that one. And you'll see, of course, with a multiple monitor setup, I would just move the each window accordingly. So we got our Valero set up, we got the SPY, and both the other sides are blank. And the way that you get rid of that is you can just simply click on one and go back there. Under flexible grid, you can do the same thing under flexible grid. So um, just another way to do the same thing with adding multiple chart views. Um, is there anything else that I want to talk about? You get your level 2 information here, time and sales here, and that's just going to run all day. It's not as in depth as we saw under the trade tab. So, just keep that in mind. You can execute trades here. And the way that you get rid of these windows is you just click off of them. So I clicked on Active Trader, click on it again, it disappears. Click on the big buttons again, it disappears. So yeah, that's pretty much it with that. So I just want to show, I just want my chart to be showing. So what I'll do is click off all this other stuff. Oh, what am I doing? I'm making a mess here. No, I don't want live news on. I don't want level 2 on. Don't want the dashboard on. I don't want that on. No to active trader. Jesus, I need to go to bed. Okay, there we go. You take the chart off. I'm really trying to figure out what I did. Okay, yeah, trade. So, boom, we're back to normal. Forgive me for that. I couldn't figure out what I had pushed. But anyway, another way that you can expand and contract your uh, price axis is if you just double click and hold, and you can move it up and down just like you can do in TradingView. So that's just a manual way of being able to extend your price axis, and you could do the same thing with um, well, you can kind of zoom with on the time axis as well. Another way to zoom in and out, just click these buttons here, zoom in, zoom out. Active tool down here just gives you another little shortcut button for the drawing tools. Same thing that I showed you up here. Um, is there anything else? I mean, it probably is, but I just can't think of anything right now. But that's really how you can use Thinkorswim's charting function. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer those questions if I know the answer. And if I don't know the answer, I will try my best to get the answer for you. But thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.